You're wondering what the options are for buying and selling your home at the same time. Well, that's what we're talking about today. So let's dive right in. Today we're going to talk about 7 different options, the most common ones that people use when they are living in a house and they're trying to buy a new house and they need to sort of balance all that out. So let's get started with number one. Number one, putting your house on the market first and then trying to secure a house once you've got your house under contract. So this gives people the assurance that their house is sold and they know what they're going to net. The problem is that there are a lot of moving parts there, and in today's market with fairly low inventory, it can be difficult for them to find their new house. So this is something that they sort of do the prep for their present house at the same time that we're out shopping, trying to narrow down the neighborhood and see what the likely flow of new inventory is. So again, a lot of moving parts, but it does give you the assurance of knowing that your house is under contract. Number 2, writing an offer contingent on the sale of your house. Now, one of the things that people need to know is that you need to have your house pretty much ready to go on the market within sort of 7 to maybe 14 days before you write that offer, because that's what the listing agent and the seller are going to be looking at, if the seller's even willing to accept that kind of contingency. One of the things is, again, in this swift market, sellers don't really need to sort of shoulder the burden of risk, to share the risk with a potential buyer waiting for their house to get a contract. Granted, if the buyer's going to be realistic, their house will probably go under contract quickly, but the seller oftentimes is looking at more than one offer, and so they don't even really need to think about an option like that. And so it puts the buyer in a weak negotiating position in terms of getting their offer accepted. Number 3, sell your house first, settle on it, get your money, move into some sort of rental situation or some alternative, some kind of housing, and then go out and find and secure your new property. So this means that you know how much money you're going to get because you've gotten it. And it's done, and the wholesale process is over with. The problem is that you have to move twice, and moving is painful enough, but having to do it and then pack up and do it again, for most people, that's a pretty daunting sort of option. People tend not to do that if they can avoid it. Number 4, get a bridge loan. So what a bridge loan is basically a loan while you're carrying the mortgage on your present house. It's a loan that you put in place to purchase your destination property. And then once your house is under contract and has gone to settlement, your first house, and you get the proceeds from that, then you pay off the front part of the bridge and you're left with a regular mortgage in your destination home. So the plus to that is you've got security, that you can qualify. The minus is that you have to qualify to carry 2 mortgages. And for a lot of people, that's a daunting proposition. Houses are not inexpensive, and being able to carry both mortgages is something that some people can do, but some people can't. So that's another option that some people can utilize to move forward. Number 5, market your present house with a contingency for owner's home of choice. So what that means is that in the multiple list system, it's advertised with the fact that a contract would have to be contingent on the purchaser letting the seller find their home of choice. Now, there are timelines involved in that, so it's not sort of an open-ended thing, but a lot of buyers hesitate with that because they'd rather find something that where they actually know what's going to happen, and they know that once they've got a contract on a house, they're going to be able to move forward, so they can plan and do the things that they want to. Again, in a low inventory situation, it may be something that a seller has a better chance of accomplishing these days than in other markets, so it's an option I wanted to bring up. Number 6, find an investor buyer. Although you may have heard of the whole iBuyer thing, there are big national companies out there that will buy your house and let you stay in it, and they'll help you buy a new house. None of those companies has dipped their toe in the DC market, and there's a whole sort of set of reasons for that. But there are investors out there, local investors, who will buy your home and would let you stay there and would settle, and you could sort of make an arrangement in terms of that, and then you could take the proceeds and go out and purchase your next home. The downside is that those investors, they need to make a living, and they're going to be looking for a pretty steep discount on the sale price of your house to facilitate all of that. So that's the downside on that one. Number 7 would be to hold on to your property as part of your retirement or your wealth plan. To look at the house and see if you could work out the finances so you could keep it as a rental. Obviously, you'd have to look and see what the rental market's like and whether a sort of reasonable rent would actually cover your carrying costs and give you the extra to cover vacancy and repairs and all that kind of stuff. But depending on how all those numbers play out, I'm a big believer in part of your portfolio being real estate and potentially rental real estate, but you have to look at it, see how you feel about being a landlord, whether you would want to manage it yourself or have a property manager, and how all those numbers work out. But for some people, that's a viable way to move forward. So that's number 7. If you're interested in more videos about the whole home selling process, you can click on the link, and that'll take you to my home sellers playlist, which has all kinds of information about home preparation, pricing strategies, all kinds of good stuff. Or if you've got a specific question, you can put it in the remarks or contact me directly. My information is below. Take care and stay safe.